You can't deny the fact that that one and only Catholic Church in Gaza was bombed, was
Well, yes, in this case, the one thing Anna says, which nothing else she ever says is correct, but she's a whack job. But she's correct, yeah. Do you think that God's upset about it? No. First of all, the churches, they put so much emphasis on their structures and their cathedrals, and it's all this material thing. And you could say, oh, well, they want to make themselves, yeah, but it's like inside what's going on inside the Catholic Church. Not a whole lot of good things going on there, never has been. Even the Protestants, I go after the Protestants, as right as they were, the ones that came here, the Protestants went to war with the Catholics. They were all destroying each other, okay? So in the European wars, okay? So they were destroying each other's churches. Yeah, it's not like in Gaza, it's the first time it happened, okay? And in my opinion, if God supports it, he protects it. It's been known to do those things. Sadly, though, the other thing I want to mention, France they basically have had a Catholic monarchy. And yet there was I don't know if all of France does. Anyway, but the Vichy government they were collaborators with the Nazis. Again, either people suffered because of the Nazis or they were collaborators. Many people say that the Catholic Church is responsible for the Holocaust starting to begin with. Even the German Protestant churches as well, because both pushed anti-Semitism even before Hitler. They pushed it because they believed that the Jews should be judged by them, because, there's that sect of Jews that doesn't see Jesus as the Messiah. So that's been a ongoing problem in history. I think it stopped, but as if it's up to us to judge that, okay? Like you could say, Jesus makes it very clear, unless you believe in me, but you have to look at it from their side. Their sides. I'm just saying, okay? There are people that are Jews that do believe in Jesus, and then the people that only follow the Torah. Well, it's not up to you or any other church to determine that they should be persecuted, though. God would never support that. So many see definitely the Catholic Church, especially with their complicity with knowing about the death camps, but that long before Hitler started, there was already anti-Semitism. So it wasn't hard to get the German people to go to that next step because of the very church itself and the German Protestant church, actually. But the Catholic Church being more complicit because they were collaborating. And then they make these excuses. And here's the other thing. Why do you think Jesus would support that? He does not support it. He doesn't. Because they have even their Vatican vault there that they've never opened up. They only open it up for short windows. Like the reason it was found out about them knowing about the death camps was in 2021, because they opened them up for 48 hours and then they shut them again. If you're a church doing that, then don't claim you're about Jesus. Just tell everybody you're about the Antichrist, because the Antichrist is that non-transparent, okay? Jesus was transparent. So if you want to be that way, just stop it. They have a whole vault of stuff they won't release. But then look at that's their history. They hide everything. They hide and they lie and hope not to get caught. And then when they get caught, they're just like, well, yeah, I guess we're sorry, but you need to tolerate us. That's what they did with the massive historic systemic child abuse problem. I think the church was created to drive Christians away from Jesus. I do. it's literally the perfect church for the Antichrist to hide himself in, while actually attacking God's children, whether it's through anti-Semitism or it's through sexual abuse, a systemic, historical, every country systemic abuse, child abuse, molestation problem. And then the thing is, when you look into their history, especially in Europe, the kings and the popes were fighting about who has the authority. You kings, are you this stupid? I mean, this is why God handed over the Catholic the ones that went, Catholic that the people wanted it. He handed them over. They suffered the Holocaust. They still haven't seen the error of their ways clearly, but this is not a hard call. God says nothing in the Bible about the Vatican. He says nothing about raising up anybody from Rome. What he does say is don't call anybody here Father, and he meant church leaders, okay? He said not to look like the Pharisees. You should just go look at how much they spend on their wardrobe, that bullshit, okay? So, I mean, and that's just a few things. You could write a book with everything they do that's the opposite of Jesus. A book could be written about it. But they are responsible for helping the Nazi agenda to take off, because they felt that it was their place to be anti-Semitic to the Jews because they wouldn't recognize Jesus. So that's just one step, and the Germans like, yeah, well, they probably should be exterminated. Yeah. So, that's literally I don't think that there's a lot of denominations that Jesus is probably particularly thrilled with, because they all, in some ways, unless they're your local small town kind of, just Christian denomination, then I think those are different. But most of the denominations have gotten all off track, and they just go to war with the Catholics. And even though the Protestants were correct coming, what the Protestant church has become, who knows? I mean, it seems like it's all involved in that Southern leadership group. It's just, Jesus wanted you to know him on a personal basis. So when a church is blown up, and I don't think Israel was deliberately trying to target the Catholic Church, but that's what these people would push. But these are the same people that got everybody to hate got all the Germans to hate the Jews. So most of the Germans already had this looking at the Jews like, you're not saved, God's not accepting you, so I can treat you like shit, which, that's just not Christian at all. But, and then, so it was not a hard step to go to the next step, and think that you can play judge and jury. And so, I'll tell you this, I don't think that God cares less about the Catholic Church getting blown up. I think that someday he'll blow the damn Vatican up. I do. I think God will. I just absolutely do, because it's one thing every church may have, scandals or something happen here and there, but their entire history has always been on the wrong side of God. I don't even believe all these miracles like Fatima and stuff. They make them up. They absolutely do. I mean, God said the Antichrist would perform, signs and wonders. That's what they did. One of the, those vaults that came out in 2021 about them knowing about the death camps, they wanted to give sainthood to the Pope that knew about that. I think it's a church that's always been used by the Antichrist, not to advance Christ's word, but to go after God's children. So, I don't think God cares what Catholic Church gets damaged or is destroyed in a war. Doubtful.